It is their full rental ERP. So it's going to manage the customers, it's going to manage the assets. We're going to be able to get the right assets to the customer at the right time. The real key there is being able, like I said, to have full visibility into your assets and where they are and what stage they're in. The other thing that we bring to the table is on the maintenance and service side of the assets. Obviously, when you maintain your assets, they have longer life, which in return is a greater return on your investment. So that return on that capital is pretty critical to rental companies and their success. So being able to dive in and dissect the inventory where it is, what's really making me money, what's not making me money, and being able to provide real business intelligence.
So these are basically different pods that you can have, you can set up, you can customize them. You can even move them around simply by dragging and clicking and dragging them around. But then you can go into your orders, you can see any open orders, you have your filters here to be able to really kind of drill down into what you're wanting to see. You can also see movements. Movements are great because this is basically your dispatching, to be able to see, anything that has been returned and completed, that was out for delivery, anything that has been delivered and completed. You have your products here. So as I click on that, you can see your products show up. I can see, all of my inventory here.
That service element is really what is good. But so that could mean speed to information. That could be ease of transacting with a customer. So there's lots of different things that play into that high level of service.
The availability is great because you can actually come in here, and as I clicked on the 1.5 ton Mini X, I can see availability. I can see if it's green, I've got available times. If it's red, it's showing that I might not have those available, which again, just gives you insight into your business. I'll show you how you can start a new rental, you can put something on rent, you can take it off of rent. It's very easy. So there's several ways you can go about that. As you can see here, I can click on this rent button, but let's just say I'm on my dashboards menu here and customer walks in and says, I'd like to rent something, or they may call in. I can actually just click on this basket here and I can start searching here. So if I put in like a 1.5 Mini X, it's going to show me here any accessories that might go with it. They want that 6-inch bucket and that hydraulic breaker. I could give them a quote and they say, okay, you know what? Let me think about it. If they've rented from you before, I could start typing in their name and I could say, okay, Joey's Construction, or I could even pop that out and create a new one from here. So again, very easy to be able to create a new customer, just on the fly, or use an existing customer. Let's say we now have a customer that comes in and wants to return something. All we have to do is come into our orders screen here, and I can come into like Greg Bennett, for instance, and I can say, okay, yep, we're gonna book these in, and it's going to check everything accordingly and accept the bookend, yes, and that has been returned. And so now maybe we want to get a signed contract from that customer for the return. It's just as simple as clicking sign. If we wanted to capture any documents or any pictures, let's say maybe Greg returned it and something was wrong with it, we could notate that via pictures, so that way we have it for future reference. We could set up our maintenance schedules here to be able to say, okay, based on number of engine hours, based on number of time, you have the ability to go in and say, okay, this is due for maintenance. And again, when it comes in, it's going to pop this up and it would show here from your mechanic's perspective. They can come in and set a date range. So another thing that we have here is our invoicing. The great thing about this is once you run these, it's going to look in the system and say, okay, what items are due for these invoice runs? And then once that is completed, all you have to do is go to the email invoices and type in that batch. And all you have to do is click on all, or if you want to go in one by one, you absolutely can. But then you just click on email and it's going to email all of those customers their invoices. So it's just a matter of 2 clicks and your invoices are done. We do have a built-in CRM within our software. So you can see a calendar view of things that are upcoming. For instance, next Wednesday, I need to call Bob. Well, what does Bob have to say? You know, I can view that activity and say, oh, okay, I've got this. Okay, yeah, that sounds great. But I can also come in and, simply click the back button and I can create a new activity. The other thing is we also have, built-in reports. I could come in and I could see, for instance, product utilization, and simply click on that. It's going to pull in a real-time report of, how many I own, based on the product group. I could even filter that out if I wanted to. If you have multiple locations, you could do it based on multiple locations. Time ranges, whatever you want to do, you could see that, and you could see your utilization, your invoice totals, your credit totals, your total revenue, your ROI value, and your ROI percentage. It's right there in front of you, and it's very simple, very straightforward.
We want to make things easy, and I think that's where we're all trending towards is that kind of speed to transaction and making it easy. But at the same time, we need to make sure we insert things into the software and into the e-commerce platforms that allow us to have that personal touch and connection with our customers.